raise this up a little bit. Sort of unplanned. I did say that I'd do this. I'm going to do a live bottling of one of my beers. This is the East Midlands Mild. Now, mild is a really old style of beer. A lot of the working men used to drink it, like, you know, down the mine shaft and things like that. Low ABV, packed full of flavour, really malty. And this is my recipe for it. Recipe's available on the channel if you so wish to brew it. It's definitely finished. We're going to be adding some sugar to each bottle, which will then ferment, causing CO2 to escape as it ferments, giving us a slight tiny bit more alcohol, but not enough to mention or care about. And then that is going to be trapped in the bottle, which is what we do it with a bottle condition or carbonation. That's how I do it anyway. So I do have a digital hydrometer bopping around in there, and this was cold crashed for I want to say 24 hours, but I think it was a little bit longer. Now this is going to have a high gravity according to the digital hydrometer, but I believe the digital hydrometer to be incorrect because this is saying something different. It's not far from it. Just let that settle a sec. I've got it for 6 instead of 18. I've got it at 16, so that will make it a little bit stronger. Probably 4.2, I want to say. Might be wrong. But let's have a little taste. Just always do before we bottle anything. We have a little taste. Just so you know what to expect, you know where you're at. That's really good. It tastes better than I expected it to. For my first version of this, that's pretty darn good. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to pop that lid just back on loosely. I'm going to move the camera over there because we use gravity to pull it through. So that's what we're going to do. Might need to extend the legs on this a bit as well. Whoops, I've got bottles everywhere. Homebrewer's nightmare. They're just everywhere you look. So hopefully you're going to be able to see what I'm doing over there now, because we're going to take this little device here, which is called a bottling wand. Let's tilt that up. You don't need to be that far down. Bottling wand. I'm going to attach it to this, and we're going to let the tap flow. We do, however, need to take out, where did I put that other glass? There. We need to remove some of this from it because that first lot of it is going to have quite a lot of yeast sediment with it. I do apologise if I can't read any chats. I can't see if the chat's even there. I've turned it to horizontal. Let's see if we press that. Does that do anything? Top chat, blah blah blah. No, I don't even know what that is. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're going to be bottling roughly 20 bottles. That's about the amount that I get per kit or per recipe. I've got a little drip tray here which catches the little drips from the bottom, and I know it's late, but I just need to get this done and then carbonated. Then it will sit at room temperature for about a week is how long I leave it. They say 3 days, but I like to leave it a week. And then it gets moved, stored for another 3 weeks before we drink it. And because it's a dark liquid, I'm going to have to turn the other bloody light on. Or I'm just going to be chucking it everywhere. I can't really see very well. Yeah, it nearly overflowed with that one. So we just put that one to the side. And we go again, filling it up. Yummy. So yeah, I say I'm only doing this because I said I would, and it just shows you my method of how I bottle my beer. If you ever do want to brew your own beer and you try the brew in the bag method and the bucket method and the same way that I do it, some people force carbonate. We were talking about this the other day, and no, it's not something that I do. I always use just this little cell, add a bit of sugar, and that's how I get my carbonation. And I'm sorry if I miss anything that anyone's saying, but I'm kind of like really concentrating on not wasting any of this, because it's a dark liquid and it's in a brown bottle. It kind of sneaks up on you. Now, I haven't seen anyone in the chat, so I don't even know if it's bloody working. Someone just stick something in the chat for me and see if I can see it, because normally it comes up at the side and people pop in and say hello, but I haven't seen anything as of yet. Maybe no one said anything. Maybe no one has anything to say. But I've got 2 more beers to brew. My own recipes. I've got an English pale ale, and I've got something called a quike or kvike or queek. Oh shit! You see that? I'm not paying attention. I'm just flipping, spraying it everywhere. Talking about other beers. Yeah. It's lucky I don't do this for a living, isn't it? Because I screw up so many times. But you've got to be able to laugh at yourself. That's half of it. So now I've got loads of beer to clear up. It's going to take some time, which is normally why I do speed these bits up with a time lapse when I used to record them, but I don't bother recording them anymore because, to be fair, although it's content and people might watch it, it is just a lot of the same thing. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, this is me for the next 10 minutes just doing this. It's the worst part of brewing, is the bottling. It's the part that I just dislike the most. So no, I've not seen anything in the chat, so I'm assuming it doesn't work when you're filming it in horizontal mode. I don't know whether I can change it to vertical. So I'm not ignoring you if you are talking. I'm just unable to see what you're saying. Now I was going to put some music on, but I read somewhere that you're not allowed to play music during lives because unless you've got the copyright for it, which obviously I won't have. So yeah, no music, unfortunately. You just have to listen to me keep on chatting. I'm going to try and fix this, see if we can change it. What is that? I don't know what that is. What did I do? Sorry about that. I screwed something up. Live chat, all messages are visible. Welcome to the live chat, remember, blah, 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 blah. Might have done it. I don't know. I have not got a sodding clue what I'm doing here. All chat messages are visible. We'll just do all visible. Hopefully that might have sorted it. I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's a way of me to swap it unless I end the live and then restart it, which I can't really bother to do. So yeah, no chat, I'm afraid. You might be able to see it, but I can't. Not sure why. Quite new to this live thing as well. I mean, I like doing it because I like the interaction with people. You know, people who brew their own stuff and get ideas for recipes. If Ray is here, I actually started my aceyglin the other day, mate, because you mentioned it. I was like, yes, aceyglin, and I had a little cap of the maple syrup, and it was just amazing, dude. It really was. I could have just chugged the bottle of it. It was that bloody nice. But yeah, maple syrup. Need to do something with maple syrup and a stout, I reckon. That would be good. Maybe cinnamon and maple. Not sure if that's something that would go together well. Cinnamon and maple in a stout. So it's going to be like roasted, dark, malty anyway. Could work. Might not. Don't know until you try, do you? So milds were popular quite a few years ago, like you're talking before my time, because I remember my mate's granddad drinking mild at this pub we used to go to when me and him had just started drinking in pubs, and they always had mild, but you don't see it much anymore. Now, I like a mild. I do like dark beers. I can't drink many of them because they're just a bit too rich, but I do like them. They've definitely got a place in my homebrew repertoire. The smoked porter, that went down a treat. I drank that really quick. There's only one left, which is a bottle that's promised to somebody. So yeah. And I've been drinking the Raz Blue and the New England IPA early because I don't have any other beer. And I'm currently trying to save up some dosh to go on holiday, so it's amazing how much you could spend on beer from a shop, you know, compared to what you could brew it for yourself. You can brew. I mean, this would have cost a very little because the malt bill was quite low actually. Not a great deal of malt. It's, like I say, it's got a low ABV, so again you aim for a lower malt bill. It's kind of annoying me that I can't see any chat. What's this do? No, that flips the camera around. They don't make this shit simple, do they? What's that do? That sends it to people. You see, I could just flip the camera around and do it like that, but then the problem I'd be is you'd be watching the video sideways once it flips over. So I'm just going to leave it, and again, apologies if people are talking. I can't see anything popping up. Once we've done finishing with these bottles going in here, we're going to move them up here. We're then going to add a teaspoon of sugar to each one systematically, and then after we've done that, we're going to cap it off, and it's going to sit here for X amount of time until normally like 5 to 7 days, and then it will go into a cooler environment to just mature a little bit, unless I run out of other beers, and then I'll just bloody drink it. I don't care. I'm not bothered. If it's there, it's there. If it tastes good, drink it. You know, I don't think I'd notice the difference with it maturing for an extra couple of days or what have you. But this is the method that I use to bottle my beer. It's pretty simple. This is called a bottle wand. It's got like a little spring inside and a little bung. When the bung comes down, the spring pushes down, makes a seal. When you push up, it opens the seal, and thus your beer starts flowing. But you do have to keep an eye on it, otherwise you'll have bottles all over the flipping place just leaking. I mean, I'm actually standing in it like as well, like a moose. I've also started a new, I think I told you the other day actually, and the other live, started another YouTube channel, which is just going and cooking outdoors. It's really simple. I just get my little stove and I'll go cook something different each weekend out in the middle of nowhere. It's pretty cool. It's called Walk, Cook, Walk. If you want to go check some of that out, there's some pretty good things on there food wise. What have I done so far? I did a curry. I did something called a shakshuka, and there was something else as well. Now this is starting to empty quite quickly, so we have to tilt it slightly to get the last few bottles out. Now I'm owed about another 2 bottles after this one from this. As long as I get my 20 bottle mark, I'm quite happy. Any extras after that are a bargain. You've got to be really careful not to knock all that sediment up as well, because if you do, it's not going to be good. Not going to be good at all. I mean, it will eventually settle down to the bottom. I think this might be the last bottle we're going to get, you know. Let's have a look at the level that it's on. Yeah, we're not going to get any more out of that. Oh well. I shall drink the last bit in that then. It's only a mouthful. Oh, and then there's that, which I forgot about, so I'll drink that as well. Result. Not bad for a Monday. Right, so we're finished with this now, so tap off. And we can take this off. Now you can reuse your yeast to brew something that's like the same style as beer, if you so wished. You most certainly could. Let's just pop that over there. Move my drips tray. Do I have my blue roll to hand? No, yeah, there it is. Just going to, more bottles. Let's put this back up there. Without knocking the bloody beverage over. Let's push that back there. I'm not sure you can actually see very well, but what we're going to do now is we're going to bring all these bottles up here of this lovely beer. It does taste good. The recipe is going to be shared. I haven't got round to uploading the video yet. I believe I did this one in a whole time lapse, so all of it's time lapsed. Not sure why I did that. I don't think I had time to actually sit and talk through it. It was one of those that I had a window of opportunity and I took it. So yeah, we only got 19 out of that one, which is a bit annoying, but such is life. So I'm just going to grab the sugar. Away. Yeah, just nearly swore then. It's only trying to be really quiet because people are asleep. You just stop clanging around like a flipping burglar. Right. Just get that cleaned up quickly so I'm not standing in it and then putting it all over the place. So 1 tablespoon. So sorry, no, not 1 tablespoon. 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of sugar in each one of these is what is going to give us our lovely, lovely bubbles. That can go up there. Don't need that anymore. And I think Wednesday's brew day. So, like I said, 1 level teaspoon. In it goes. Move it over to the next. Most simple way to carbonate your beers. I do sometimes use finings, but I always forget to put them in. And I do cold crash, which does drop a lot of the crud down to the bottom. But, you know, it is what it is. Some people do it differently. That's perfectly fine. The beer will still taste the same even if you force carbonate with like gas canisters and stuff. The beer will still taste great. So do try and brew this if you're interested in trying a British mild. I'm not quite sure whether they get this beer in the States or whether it just stayed in Britain. it was kind of, like I say, really popular, but then obviously the best bitters and then continental lagers and stuff like that started to take over. Then there was IPA, all that kind of jazz. And before you know it, one of Britain's kind of like go-to beers gets shunned for other beers. So I'm keeping it alive. Some craft breweries in England and UK, they do still do this style of beer. But again, it's one of those that's considered an old man's beer, but I like it. It reminds me of being young, sitting in a pub, drinking one of these. And that is pretty much it. That is how I carbonate and bottle my beer. We'll now close these lids off on each one, and I always lift them up gently just to help the sugar dissolve. Gets to work a bit quicker, just like so. And I'm going to do this for every single one of these. I won't make you watch me do all of them. I am going to end this live now. And again, I am sorry that I haven't been able to speak in the chat. I don't know why it doesn't show you the chat when you do it in horizontal. It's a bit peculiar, really. It should allow me to, shouldn't it? But it hasn't, so I don't know. There's definitely nothing come up. There's not even a box at the bottom. But that's it. If you've joined me bottling these beers, thank you very much. It's been great not talking to you. Yeah, I'll probably have to try and remember to do it the other way around if I try and do this again. But yeah, thanks for watching. Take it easy, and I'll see you all soon.